So now that we've done all the stuff preparation that we're going to do at Fueno, we want to head back to the undersea cavern and make it all the way back to Lyderia. Oh, that's creepy. It's like a baby Marlboro. So how goes it tonight for Vara? Ah, Final Fantasy 14. Is it actually a decent game? I've never played any of the MMO Final Fantasies before. We'll come back to that later. Now, I don't suppose you were an early adopter when it had the horrendous launch with all of its kind of barely in place mechanics. Okay, let's see. Now that we're back in Lyderia, we want to head to the pier and go to the ocean terrace. One of the things that always turns me off from the general MMO kind of lifestyle and gaming is the cost. You know, it's the one thing that turned me off from the original Final Fantasy 11. That and I've never been a big fan of the MMO style games. I've played a few. I've played World of Warcraft a little bit, Dungeons and Dragons Online. Now, is it, in your opinion, have you ever, I suppose I should ask this, have you played the original Final Fantasy 11 and then have played 14? Alright, so of our options, I believe we need to see the monster is the correct choice here. Ah, okay. I remember when 11 came out, I remember seeing it in a Walmart store Not as part of the other games, it was sort of in the PC area, and it was a giant box because it had to come with the modem that you could attach to the back of the original fat PS2. And at the time, you know, it wasn't really... Internet wasn't really what it was. But I know that 11, for the longest time, was still supported by Square Enix, so it was a massive following, a big fan base for that. That's sort of my situation. Let's see, 11 came out. It would have been in the early 2000s. I would have been like 12 or 13, something like that. So again, we had dial-up internet, I think, at that time. Still, I don't think we had DSL at the time. So the concept of having to pay to play was ridiculous. Considering all I had was, you know, an allowance. I suppose nowadays it wouldn't be too bad. It's no different than if you have a game that has a lot of little microtransactions or DLC that you wanted. I don't know if 14 has this, but I really dig the MMOs. They give you the option of playing for free up to a certain point. Those are games that I can kind of, you know, free to play games that I enjoy. I can get enjoyment out of that without actually having to shell out actual money for the game. Okay, so basically we are able to get to the prison island by different means, so that's what we're going to do. I want to say we go back to the pier and then take the little almost, it's not a ski lift, but it's the same concept, little thing that'll help us get to it. Oh, that's right, Pete's house. Jump on the stones, duh. Wasn't really paying attention to what they were telling me to do. Oh, they do? Okay. Now, I know one of the races that you can pick, are they called Mithras? Mithras? They're the cat people, I think. Okay, let's see. What do we have that we can pick up here? We can pick up Healing Rain and Healing Fog. Okay, we definitely want to pick those up. So we're going to go ahead, use one of our Healing Breezes. For Healing Rain, so that heals everybody. I don't know what a Healing Fog does. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Are they Makotes or whatever? It's a weird word. I remember they changed it. Let's get rid of something. How about... Those are kind of rare to find, though, I think. I don't think Spear Frost is going to be helpful against water enemies, so let's throw that away. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, so one person. It does it to one person. Okay. The thing that surprised everyone and surprised me about Final Fantasy XIV was how quickly it showed up. It was like, here's, I can't remember, 13 and boom, 14's coming out. Alright. And due to oh, I see. Okay, so that okay, I understand how that opens the gate. Due to how badly 14, was received when it launched, is the reason I believe we got both 13.2 and 13.3 Lightning returns. Square was in a desperate need for money and to recoup their losses, so they hashed together some really quick sequels. I guess technically I don't think we need to actually save here because we just save right outside the undersea cavern. Most MMO games typically tend to be somewhat successful, at the very least. That's why a lot of them come out nowadays. A lot of free-to-play ones, a lot of ones that are made by less major AAA developers. They all kind of gain their own sort of fan base following. I know a lot of iOS and Android games are also, not maybe necessarily the same format, but a lot of people, guilds and such, where you can kind of contribute and help other people and stuff. It's a massive trend in gaming, a subculture of the whole gaming as a whole. Okay, we want to go up through here. We're going ahead and skip that chest. All it is an attack ball. Nothing of real value, just it's a random generated attack item. This, I believe, is a jeweled crown. I'm assuming it's some sort of accessory. No, it is it's actually a helmet. I think. No, that's not bad. I mean, what is? Can men equip it as well? No, it's only females. Let's see. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe it's only so Meru can equip it, and I believe Shauna can do it as well. Okay. So we'll live with that. Alright, what's next? Alright, we picked up over left, follow the path. This way. Okay. Another reason I never got into MMOs is I like the idea of being able to play a game single player without needing anybody else. It's part of the immersion that I enjoy about the games. Okay, first things first, I don't want one of these things attacking because they're irritating. We'll pick the one in the middle. What is the maximum level that a character can reach?
Die. More and more.
Yes. Go. Dance.
Yeah. Is it is it 60 in Final Fantasy 14 or is that, because I know 60 is the maximum level in Legend of Dragoon. And it's actually ironic that you say that in terms of the reason why you picked it up, because it's actually the reason I've avoided the MMOs. Let's see, what is this one? This one, I believe, is a recovery ball, not really something I needed. Wow. Went out of my way for nothing. Wow. That's alright. I really didn't care for the MMO style that 12 did. Specifically as I didn't control my characters. There's all these characters, you had to build your own AI. The enemies being on screen is kind of cool. I've always liked that. It's a nice progression and evolution from the turn-based random encounters, but there's benefits and, you know, stuff to everything, I suppose. Oh, what the hell is that? Confusion?
Yes. Go. Dance.
Die. More and more.
It is confusion. Awesome. I like that ability.
Yes. Go. Dance.
It's incredibly difficult to pull that addition off looking at it from the side and not from behind Dart's back. Oh, there's nostalgia definitely plays a big part into why I still buy into the series. Let's see, we want to go left. We already have a gushing magma. We don't need that, so we'll head over to the next screen here. 9 is tied at the very pinnacle, #1 in my book. It's not just because it's the first Final Fantasy I owned, which isn't necessarily true. I did own Final Fantasy The Legends 3 for the Game Boy, but that's not really part of the main series. 7 and 9 are tied at the first, and then it kind of goes from there. Alright, in the next screen here, if we go to the left, we can pick up recovery ball. Go to the right, and we go up. You can get burnout, right. Ultimately, we want to go up the stairs, though. I want to say it's this way. All those things really aren't of any use to us because we already have some nice fire items. And since we're actually about to face a boss, we do want to heal. Pretty much 9 and 7. I enjoy 10 for what it is. And from there it kind of gets hazy as well. I have stuff that I enjoy about a lot of them, but in terms of quantifying them and listing them, it gets a little, it depends on my mood. I have played all of the main ones except for the 2 MMOs. So I have a good variety of stuff as to the knowledge of them. I've played at least all of them at least once. The ones I enjoy I've played several times through, of course, but there's definitely something to be desired in all of them, which is good. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed 5. Really enjoyed the class, the job class in that one. Story was meh, but the gameplay was fun. Oh yeah, I often mistake Legend of Dragoon for a Squaresoft title just from the nostalgia factor and why I like it so much, even though I know it wasn't Squaresoft that did it. I actually just throughout August and the very beginning of September streamed the entirety of Final Fantasy VIII. Pretty much I broke the game with the junction system and just had a blast with it. There's some weak elements in, like there is flaws in every game, but once you understand what you're doing, there's plenty of enjoyment to be had from it. It's changed as time goes on. It's not as bad as I once thought it was. It's just different.